in. All right, something went wrong to the last one, so I figured I will change the angle a little bit. Hi, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that's already been around for a minute, and welcome to those that just happen to find this video to this channel for the very first time. My name is Merveille. This is really the kind of videos that I produce, right? But I figured since I am, cooking, and I wanted to talk to y'all, I might as well take you with me, so we all can experience this moment. And also happy Sunday, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. I am very, very excited to share what I have to talk about with you guys today, and hopefully we can all at the end of this video have things in common, and also have a discussion in the comment section below on certain things that we don't agree with, okay? And that's fine. I can't stress this enough. Every time I go live on my channel, I want to be able to have a sincere and mature conversation with my audience, because sometimes it's very, very important to have these discussions, all right? We're asking ourselves questions about how we can move back to the continent and do business, right? But we are here making financial decisions that it is making it almost impossible every step of the way to go back and start business, right? So if that is something you are seriously considering, my advice to most of you will be, okay, start fixing those financial mistakes that you'll be making. For instance, you know you want to invest back in Africa, right? And then you're going to go ahead, buy a car on credit. That costs more than what you make in a year. Those are the kind of stupid mistakes that some of us need to be aware of and should stay away from. And nothing wrong with buying a car, because the car is a means of transportation that gets you to and from work. And that's one way you make your money too. I agree, I know that, and I respect that. However, unless you can afford it, you don't need a Range Rover to get to and from work. Can we agree on that? So, if that's the case, and if you feel like, yeah, I want to live this luxurious life and I make my money, nobody can tell me what to do, you're absolutely right. Why can't you just be honest with yourself that, or maybe just make peace with the fact that you may not move back to Africa to invest. You may just be stuck here in Akosim and, continue to pay taxes and be a part of modern slavery. That's one thing that you have to be sure that you are doing. Like, I don't understand why people are offended when you talk about things that they're doing wrong. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody was telling me something that I'm doing wrong potentially, there are always room for improvement, right? Just 1 second, guys. I gotta throw this out. I have to acknowledge what they're telling me and maybe sit back and circle back and start making better decisions. Because at the end of the day, we're here to help each other, to help one another do better in life. Because as a part of the diaspora, being from Congo, there's nothing that will make me happier than to see more Congolese doing better financially. In addition to that, take that money back where it belongs, which is in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I want more Congolese to commit to doing business back at home. All right? Forget that the government is not building infrastructures for us. The government isn't supporting small business. The government this, the government that. Guys, let's be realistic. Governments around the world, they don't work for the people. Let's just be honest about that. All right? But we could argue governments in certain countries really, really work, and the people are probably happier. But now, with what's going on now around the world, I'm not so sure about that. Look at what's happening in America. Look at what's happening in the UK. Look at what's happening everywhere with inflation and all that. So you tell me, where was the government, right, when inflation at first started? Do you think it's the government responsibility to prevent these sort of things from happening? Absolutely, yes, they are. And we should hold them accountable for screwing us over. But is there something we could do to change the way things are? Probably not. They have the military, the army. It's basically the same thing that we deal with back in Africa, right? When people protest, people get on the streets, they start demonstrating. Hell, nobody wants to listen to them. You understand what I'm saying? So, because of that, instead of you risking your livelihood for some lunatics who only care about themselves, their close friends, family members, that's it. It's not really worth the try. That's why the best way to get away with from all of that, if you don't want to work 9 to 5 till you reach retirement age, it is best that you start your small investments back in Congo until you know that, okay, with what I have built so far, I think I'm able, or I'm capable to, take this even more seriously and possibly succeed. There is a possibility to succeed in doing business in Africa. You just have to have faith and also stay a little bit far away from politics and stop blaming governments so much as a way of delaying yourself from moving to Africa to start a business. All right, let me try and all right, I'm trying to, all right, hold on. Let me fix something real quick. Oh yeah. Is it down? Can you see me? All right, let me it's a little higher. Now you can probably see me. Let me drop it down a little bit. All right, guys, bear with me here. I'm in the kitchen. I'm cooking. I just want to make sure I get my ingredients all together. Then I'll have to sit down with you guys. We'll talk about this stuff. All right. Yeah, your boy can cook, and that's for sure. All right, your boy can cook. I'm out here in the kitchen handling my business, cause tomorrow is Monday. The week is finally about to start, so I want to be able to have enough food for lunch throughout this whole week. Cause I ain't trying to order out every day at work. Like I was saying earlier, those are among the things that would eat your pocket really, really quickly. And I ain't trying to put myself in that situation. Don't get me wrong. Every now and then I will order out, but I prefer to do my own meal prep. You know what I'm saying? So that I won't end up spending more money on food or anything like that. So I'm investing time in the kitchen just today for a few hours. Then I will have enough food for the rest of the week. You understand what I'm saying? So you tell me, is that a win or not? So there you have it. So back to the subject, guys. I know there isn't really no title. You guys just tuned in, hoping that we could have some serious conversation, and we are. You know, this is one of them. It's a part of it. But I'm focusing more on the fact that I want more Congolese or Africans in general, specifically living in the diaspora, to go back to the continent, to start businesses, and help out locals who are in desperate need for these opportunities that have been taken away from them for a very, very long time now. You know, we can only be the ones to uplift our brothers and sisters who need our help the most. Guys, trust me, um, I get it. We all need to look fly, buy, you know, expensive clothes, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, these are perishable materials, man. These things won't last you a lifetime. These things will never, like, ever, right? You will never, like, brag about the fact that you have all these clothes and how expensive they are, because these things are perishable materials and they probably not even going to matter like once you start gaining weight. You start putting them, you know, a couple of pounds here and there, then they're not gonna matter. Trust me. You know. So you throw some olive oil in them. And I'm gonna come back to it. That's how it is a little bit. When you're cooking, sometimes you just have to make sure that you don't mess it up, right? So, yeah, I'm going to kill that burner for a minute and take care of this other one. Because I got two things going on. One. Oh, man. Oh yeah, I needed to take care of that real fast. So back to the subject. So you guys tell me, all right, what is the best way, according to you, okay, to stay. All right, let me rephrase that. So you guys, do you believe that African diaspora can play a role in helping uplift our brothers and sisters who are still in the continent looking for employment opportunities? Because we know such that are provided by the government are selective to certain group of people. And your brother, your nephew, your cousin who have an associate's or a bachelor's degree in whatever field may not have the shot to getting hired, right, in front of, let's just say, some kid whose father works in the government and they have written a letter of recommendation to hire that kid. Do you think your nephew, your sister, your brother, your friend have a shot to get in that position? Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below if you think it is possible. So therefore, we as a diasporans have a role to play when it comes down to these sort of things. And I have talked about it on my channel multiple times. Guys, you see even these expatriate, Chinese, Indians, Pakistanis, and all the Middle Easterners doing business in Africa, they're not paying locals what they're worth because the government didn't force them to pay them a minimum wage, right? So that they are able to support their families and take care of themselves while working for this expatriate. But because we don't also have Africans who, or like African businesses capable to employ a vast majority of our locals who are struggling to get jobs, to pay them what they're worth. And because there aren't many options out there, they are stuck with these expatriates. At least they're putting money into their pockets, regardless of mistreatments, reports that we have received over years. They have been doing business in Africa. So if we really care about our brothers and sisters back there, so why the hell is it taking us so long to start investing? My thing is, if you're not willing to come up with a solution to a problem that is bothering you, you might as well just shut up and not even talk about it. Because these issues have impacted us for a very long time. And we would like to see these things, we would like to see change moving forward. But unless we are committed to unite and start investing, we will never ever end this situation, because the competition will be so difficult that these expatriates will have to comply with local rules and regulations and stuff like that. You know, because if you are hiring locals and paying them a good amount of money, there is no way they are going to fill out an application looking for a job at one of them, these expatriates businesses. They're never going to do that. They only do it because we haven't stepped up yet. Let's be honest, we have not. So my question to you is, Why are you waiting? Guys, it could be as small as having at least two people in the payroll. It plays a major role. I am so excited that when I launch my pig barn again for the second time, I have at least three people running the farm. I got two workers, actually four altogether, including the vet. The vet is has got to go there uh, every now and then to check on the health of the animals and make sure that they are well taken care of. And I have my manager, I guess I should call him manager, who also who's there to take care of like certain tools or things that are needed on the farm. When as the farm evolves, the demands and the need for certain tools become apparent. And he reports those things to me. And then, guess what we do? We come up with a plan. We buy whatever we need to satisfy these needs, all right? So, at least four people are getting paid just after opening a pig barn, which only has 9 pigs as we speak. But because these animals multiply, eventually they will give birth and it will be more hogs on the farm. And then the more we get them there, the more people I will need on the farm. And God forbid things work out the way I expect them to, we will be hiring more people. And not to mention, when my poultry farming project starts, we are going to need at least 2 more guys to hold it down. So in a span of less than a year, I am expected to have at least a team of 8 or maybe 9 people on the payroll, which is amazing. Guys, you have no idea how this makes me feel. The fact that I am able to hire people, right, and work with them and being able to pay them to work, it makes me feel amazing. All right? And it doesn't have to be a whole lot. Everything starts somewhere. You just have to have the willingness to do it. Because if you don't care, I gotta be honest with you, it's just never going to make a difference, like ever. I'm always encouraging most of us in the diaspora, right, to move back to the continent, do business, but it is up to us. After analyzing what is happening, you get to decide if it is a good call or it is not. So that response it will have to come from you guys, all right? But I share my journey to inspire as many of you as I can, because I am a strong believer that African diaspora can play a major role in helping or in uplifting some of our brothers and sisters who are still in the diaspora looking for ways. Some of them can afford to move abroad because they don't have the funds, right? Some of them would like to find a job that pays them a reasonable amount of money so that they are able to take care of themselves and their family. You understand? So if us as diaspora, we are able to provide that, that would actually make a huge difference. So now look around. You are still watching this because you're either already investing or you're thinking about investing, but you're not so sure of why you should start. And in my last stream, I had a guy ask me what countries I can recommend because they were uncomfortable, either going to do business in Congo. You have so many African countries. You see, us as Africans, we have so many African countries where we can do business, and it doesn't always have to be your native country. If you're uncomfortable with doing business in Congo, look at Kenya, look at Tanzania, right? Look at South Africa, look at Botswana, all right? Look at all those other countries out there. You understand? All right, so I say this because I believe that if we really put time and efforts, we are able to pull this off. But without each other's help or without each other's motivations, I mean, we cannot get anything done. We better believe that. I ask you guys bear with me, all right? Because I'm out here cooking and going live at the same time. But soon I will be sitting down so we can have this conversation, you guys. So just continue to bear with me. There's a lot to talk about on this live stream. And making sure I have food for this week, it is also just as important, all right? So, let's get that straight there. Let me see if I can smash these tomatoes with this blender, all right? Oh man. All right. The irony, because many people have. Do you guys ever notice that this is more like this happen in life a lot, right? When you have something, you almost feel like you don't need it. But the moment you get rid of it, somehow you miss the item, right? Or you wish you never gotten rid of it. So I'm sure these patterns is repetitive and it happens to us a lot. I noticed that for the most part in life, it takes someone from far away to actually, right, make you appreciate something you've had all along. Many people have opportunities rotting right in front of their eyes, but because lack of ambition has blinded them to see the potential that they have right in front of them. But when somebody comes from elsewhere and take advantage of those opportunities, and that's when people open their eyes. They're like, oh my God, like I didn't know that this was possible. And I don't blame them. Sometimes you need to get away. You need to be removed from one reality and look at things at a different angle. Then when you come back, you will see a different perspective. So, and I know what I'm talking about because that seems to be the case when it comes down to doing business in the motherland. Many of us are like, we're raised there, but we don't know and we haven't seen the opportunities that are there. Only when you move abroad, you live abroad, you see the struggles, and then you start to appreciate things that you had with you all along. Now, guess what? We all want to move back to take advantage of those opportunities. Don't get me wrong, all of these expatriates, Indians, Pakistanis, all these Middle Easterners that have been doing business there, it's kind of becoming a little more difficult to catch up to them because they've been doing it for years and they do understand the market, right? They do understand the market better than we do because we are taking so long to take a stand to actually be a part of the change. By the time we go in there, the game it will seem like it's rigged against us, but we are the ones who have continually postponed, you understand, moving back or starting businesses. Sometimes let's not blame our mistakes and, excuse me for the term, stupidity. Not that any of you watching is stupid, but when you are delaying moving back to start an investment, know that there is somebody already there doing it. Why are you asking a bunch of questions, wondering whether you should or should not move there? There are already people in there doing stuff. Think of it more this way. If you ever were in sports, you played sports or whatever, like I grew up with this, like I grew up playing sports, in high school and all that, playing soccer and everything. Our coaches always used to tell us, I don't care how fast you are, how fast you can move, the tricks you have, always remember and thinking that there is somebody out there who's better than you. Don't always, when you go out in these games and you score and people are cheering and they're clapping for you, don't use that and become complacent. Always remember there's always somebody out there who's better than you, who's faster than you, who's more agile with you than you are. And that kind of pushed me to even work harder and put more effort than what I was putting then. And it helped me stay sharp for as long as I did before I stopped playing soccer and I decided that I just wanted to go to college full time. So it goes the same living life. Well, for some of us, somebody down there asked what I was cooking. I'm making pork. I make pork and I'll make fried rice that I will, eat it with. This is something, my meal prep for the week, you know what I'm saying? Just want to make sure that I have something to eat throughout the whole week, because ordering out all the time, it adds up into expenses too. So I don't always want to spend money on food like that when I can just cook it myself at home. I get it. Sometimes I may be, you know, a little tired. I don't feel like eating, but when I have that kind of strength like I do now, I would rather cook than order out. You feel me? So I'll be right back. Let me turn the AC on because it's getting a little hot out here. All right, you guys, I'm back. So you guys let me know in the comment section below, what is it that you think most people should invest in Congo that would not require a lot of work? So all right, let me fix that. There isn't no investment that you would not have to put in effort. It might not be physical, but it could be mental, you know, or intellectual, or whatever the case may be. All right. But most of us will rather not work as much, instead to be able to watch things from distance, just and appreciate your time you've put in to, you know, put your business together, right? So like me personally, for instance, I believe that real estate, among other businesses, it is one of the best way out. One of them. Because real estate, it just works everywhere. It does. And one of the advantages of real estate is that its value almost never decreases. Its value always increases. If you purchase a property in 2020, trust me, 1 year later, in 2021, that piece of property price has gone up by a certain percentage. And we all know that, because if you look in Congo, for instance, there are places where buying a house as of 10 years ago was despised by people. I do own 2 residential properties in Kinkole, right? And I remember a time when people didn't even think about moving anywhere near Kinkole. But when the government had put things together, people started buying homes there. They were going for almost nothing. Because if people were awake back then, they would have acquired a lot of lands. Fast forward, now Kinkole is getting filled. People are rushing. I mean, they are rushing to own pieces of properties in Kinkole. Now, guess what? The prices have gone up dramatically. It still is affordable, because last time I checked, it still is affordable, but not as affordable as it was 5 or 10 years ago. So now, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, this is the time. Guys, listen, let me tell you something real quick, and I'll just keep cooking, all right? You know, we are our worst enemy. Yes, we are our worst enemies. We say things, but then we turn around, we do others. But if we are really committed to what we want to do, Believe me, the struggles that most Africans are going through in the diaspora, it will, we wouldn't even be having these conversations. There are just so much opportunities to walk away from. I understand if certain people feel that they need to move out of the country, out of Africa first, and then come back later. I do agree with that. But once you have moved out, don't wait too long before you start investing. You know? Just bear with me one more time. I'm about to throw something in there and just let it boil. Because, man, I'm making two different things at once, and it's required a lot of time and efforts. But it is worth it, you know? It really is worth it. Try this to make sure it's softened up. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So soft. Now we talking. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. So now it's time to throw some olive oil in this joint. And then throw a bunch of other things in there. Alright, let's get this. Let me show you how this is done, alright? So I'm going to chop my onions up real fast. And another thing, I'm about to go off topic for a minute, especially with what the world is today. Most females, especially African females, right? When you're dating her, and they know most African men don't like to cook, but they will mess with you. You get into an argument, they're not gonna cook. If you talk about that you said something that they hated, you're like, all right, today I ain't gonna be spending no time in the kitchen. They know you screwed because you can't cook for shit. So I learned how to cook, right? So I don't always have to deal with that. And again, shout out to my siblings and my mom who have taught me how to cook. I'm not the best cook out there, but I just learned how to cook one of my favorite meals, you know? So that has helped me throughout these years I've been living in America. Because trust me, there was a time where I was ordering out, going to Chinese buffet, eating food and all that. But I gotta tell you this. That added expensive very quickly. And I don't ever want to have to go through that again. Alright, let's do this. Throw this in there. Pour some water and let it boil. Trust me, your boy can cook. here. Just have to throw water in this joint. Oh man. Alright, you guys, bear with me. Maybe another 5 minutes or so. Should be out of this kitchen, trust me. I would rather us have this conversation, but what I'm doing right here, it is just as important. Now, there's something that needs to go in there. Ready to put it there. Alright. Let me see one of those joints right here. It's gotta go into that. Salt should be enough. Now, just need these hot peppers, right? You know what this do to you. Sit back. This smells good already. Alright. My thing is, when I cook, I clean up after myself almost right away. With all the things that I just used are going back right where they belong. Because I am trying to have a dirty sink or a dirty kitchen just after I cook. You know what I mean? Alright, so let's get back to the topic. So I've asked the question. I don't know if somebody in a commentary answered, but I've asked this one question. Very simple one. Do you guys think that us African diaspora, Africans who live abroad, who are not currently in Africa, who have jobs or working, have a role to play in shifting, in changing, let's say, the economic situations of our fellow brothers and sisters, locals in the continent? If you think so, why do you think that? If you don't think so, feel free to explain in the comment section down below as well. Tell us why you feel that way. So then, we can all have a conversation about that, because I think these conversations are very, very important. They need to be had. So, because I think it is very imperative for African diaspora to show the ropes, to be the #1 example to the youth who are struggling or who only ambitions are to leave the continent to go find those opportunities elsewhere. So what I have been doing personally is to convince people that moving from Africa isn't not going to solve the problem. Because look at it this way. People who are moving out of the continent are considered to either have the financial means to do so, and because they have spent their money, you're not spending money in Congo. All of these embassy fees that we pay, they're not going into our government. They're going to the foreign governments where you are soliciting to immigrate to. So pay attention to what I'm about to say right here. And when you take the money out of the system, now somebody else has to make up for it. That's why it is crucial, once you come here. Now think about the money you have spent, invested back into the country. I mean, you don't have to, but let's be real. If you ever consider starting a business, whatever it is, how much money do you think it will cost you to start that business in, for instance, in Africa, versus why you will have to go through to start the same business here in the West? Please let me know. All right. So knowing the high cost of doing business in the West and how difficult the paperwork process could be, and how much money in tax that you have to pay, those are among the things that almost make it quite impossible to even think about doing business in the West. You will have to be a multimillionaire. Like, it's getting to a point where it is almost damn near impossible for an ordinary citizen to start a business in the West. Unless you come from a wealthy family, you have everything handed to you in a silver platter, then you don't have to work as hard as some of us have to make it in life. And that's a different situation. But like starting your way from the bottom, working your way from the bottom to the top, it's almost not gonna happen here in America or in Europe. Let's be honest about it. Let me try the tenderness of this and make sure it's good before I put rice in there. Listen. Shout out to my mom and my siblings again for teaching the boy how to cook. Take a look at this joint. That is good. Damn, I'm good. And this right here, man. Listen. This joint is good. Put rice in there. I have it boiled till they're all cooked together. Right? Just want to make sure my rice is clean. Oh yeah. Alright, I saw some comments there. You guys bear with me. Trust me, I promise. I'm going to read those comments now. We'll keep the conversation going. I just got to make sure everything is clear out here. And then we'll get into the meat and potato of our conversation today. Alright? You know what? Two may not seem like.
Oh wow, let me throw
another one in there. Now I'm gonna put some water. Rice to cook all the way through with pork and all these ingredients that I put inside, alright? You know, I can do good, you know, teaching people how to cook. You know? Can do a rather great job. So let me show you what it's looking like right here, man. Let me show you real quick. See that right there? Yeah, I mean, the pan looks a mess, but it's from cooking and grilling, frying things earlier. But today I'm gonna have a really, really nice meal. Alright? So now that we got that, what I have to do now, just make sure the Lord is now. Should be good. Every now and then, I would just have to come back here and check on it. Ooh! Now, my other pan on the other side, on the other, you know, it is also going crazy, so it needs my attention too. Man, I might as well turn this into a cooking vlog or some shit. Oh, man. Ladies, if you marry a guy like me, look, I cook, I take care of the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't gonna be no bum. So let me show you the other pan. This is my coso right here. This is my pig feet. I love my pig feet. So I gotta make sure now, you know, I'm taking care of it. It's Sunday. I got a few bottles of beer in the refrigerator. I'm planning on drinking. I'm starting a little bit. That's what I'm talking about right there. And then, let me turn it down a little bit. And then, we'll see what happens. So let me make sure that there's enough salts. Damn, I'm good. Whew. I am good. All right, now I gotta check the rice cooker, and then this whole thing will have to go in here and allow it to cook it all the way through. Where's the I don't know if we're plastic one to put this bad boy in there. This was a plastic plate that I had. Fuck it. Put it in here, alright? Because I need to. This. Because this is a rice cooker, right? I just have to pretty much put everything in there. It would allow rice to cook all the way through. Whew. All right. Thank you guys for being patient with me. I Let me lower this down. I have handled my business in the kitchen there, all right? I took care of it. And now I am back. So now we can have this conversation. So allow me to take my shirt off. You know, it's kind of hot out here. You know what? Let me turn this on. All right. So that might help. So I got the AC on, and hopefully this can help me. So let me go back to the chat. But before I do that, let me grab a bottle of beer, cause I need that. All right. Need a bottle of beer, cause I feel like these conversations we'll be having, it requires, right, a certain level of attention span and focus to talk about things that make the most sense. That's what I'm rocking with today. Cheers. Happy Sunday again, guys. So, let me check out this live stream here. I was cooking, you know. Hello, everyone. Hello, host. Hello, brother. How you doing? He said, "Why people mana bana? You invaded her office." That's funny. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do, yo. Hello, everyone. Hello, host. Hello, Spicy D254. How you guys doing? Oh, I do appreciate you, Spicy Food from Kenya. Listen, man, Kenya is like one of my favorite country in Africa, even though I have not visited Kenya yet. But it's on the bucket list. It's on the bucket list. One of these days, I'm going to set foot in Kenya, and then we'll get it popping out there. Let me see. Save money, bro. Times are hard now with this inflation. I could not agree more. That's right. You got to save that money, do bigger things with it. We need every cent to send back home. Absolutely right. That's exactly what I've been doing. Yes, because our government doesn't know and work on priorities. So we need to come and cover the gap. Also, because diaspora has access to funds that can help start investments back home. Listen, everything you have said there, I agree with it 100%. I don't know when you were subscribed to the channel, but I started this YouTube channel quite a while, but I started taking it more and more seriously, I'd say 2019, almost 2020. That was when I did it. I remember there's one time I talked about how I used my federal income tax when I got it back. That was back when I used to get something back, because now what I make now, I don't even think about it. I actually pay the government when I file my income taxes as of for the past 3 years, I owe the government. You know, I haven't been getting it back, but like maybe my last 2-3 years, I got my income tax from the government. I use every bit of the money to do something with it in Africa. Remember back then when I was working on the fence to fence off my farm, I used that money to make sure that we had some level of security within the barn. You know what I'm saying? So I use my income tax with it. A lot of people here, they don't realize the power of the money we have here in these countries, right? because these countries have one of the most powerful currencies in the world. So you can use that in your advantage, because think about it this way: if you take like $100 or €100, you convert it to a Congolese franc, you know it'll get you a little bit more than it would if you had spent that money here. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you may remember me saying this in my live streams or on my videos. I make a decision to live a very simple life here in America, regardless of how much money I'm making now. Just because, so I can invest most of that money back home. So when it is time for me to move there, I won't be wondering or questioning my decisions, right? Because I want, when the time comes that I'm moving to Africa, I'm moving permanently. I may still travel the world, but Africa will be the place of my residency. You better believe that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, everything we're doing in life, it only has one goal: to live comfortably after retirement. But do we have to wait till retirement age now that there are threats that social security programs might be cut in the future? So guys, if we are wise and smart enough, this is time we should start investing our money where it belongs. Because why would you want to invest your money at a place where they have almost done everything you can possibly imagine? But we are coming from the continent that I still consider almost second, I mean, what we call in French chantier, right? It's still in a process of being built, which means a lot of ideas coming from us in the diaspora are much needed to develop and do much better things. So if you are on board with that, maybe it is time for you to start that process. Started questioning a little bit more on my decision makings, whether it is here in America, when it comes down to things like buying a house. It is a great investment, but the way inflations are looking, it's becoming more doubtful to make such decisions. Not because you're not smart to make buying a house is a great investment, but nowadays it doesn't mean what it used to in the past. Homeowners are probably benefiting from selling their homes, but home buyers are not so much. But the only reason I might consider buying a house is, number one, to build that equity for as long as I can hold on to the house while I'm doing my things back at home. And when I feel like I'm ready, then I can go ahead, sell it, and just take my equity home with me. That could be the only reason that I am going to be buying a house here in America. But if it was for other reasons, or raising a family, starting a family, or blah 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 blah, that ain't it. Because I have come to that realization, maybe renting long term is the best course of action with this current inflation. Guys, I don't know how do I have to say this for some of you to acknowledge and appreciate the level of advantage that we have from our continent of Africa in terms of doing business. Think about you starting a business and not having to worry about the headaches of paperwork. Don't get me wrong, there are paperwork that must be filled out there. You have to, because you can't just not start a business without registering it, right? At least we have to do things in a way that we are legitimate. All right, to send a message that, okay, we've done everything right. But at the end of the day, what it will cost you to get all this paperwork, it's a fraction of what you will be required to spend if you were, for instance, starting a business here in America. You understand what I'm saying? So taxes are not going to hit you like that. I come from a family where my father owned hotels, bars, my mom owned restaurants, and some of them still there. Not all of them. Some of them are still there. Like my mom's, my dad had a license where he could do business in the entire Africa and still got paperwork. I was having this conversation with my mom the other day to see if there's a possibility
that I could use it as his child even after he passed away. My mom said there is a way, but there are some process you have to follow, um, just to do it. But my mom was actually able to open up these charcoals um, depot using my dad's uh, paperwork, which by the way includes my mom's name too because they had been married for like 38 years before my dad passed away. So she had access to it. So it didn't really cause any complications to it. But according to what she told me, even the children, if she wants to pass it on to us, she could. And I always told my mom, make sure you keep that safe. It'll come a time where I will need it. That right there is a huge advantage. If I don't have to go knock on doors, I can just show up with the paperwork that's already signed and everything is good to go. I can just choose a location and walk in there, register that particular location with the local authorities, and I'm good to go. That is a huge advantage there to have. But the biggest question is, what are you going to do? There are businesses that are doing fantastic right now in the Congo. I'm gonna give you just one quick example. So we all know that Congo is getting built. People are building massively in multiple areas in Kinshasa, right? And sometimes people don't have time to make their own bricks. So therefore, there are brick making machines that are making people so much money right now. I have a friend who's gotten into this business is making a whole lot of money. In my church I used to go to back in the Congo. Well, technically still go to the same church, but because I live in America, I can't physically go there, but I'm still a member. But when I'm in Kinshasa, I'm spending time in Congo, I go to the same church. I know a guy who is successful. He got into that business. As we speak, this dude owned, at least the last time we spoke, he owned at least six residential properties in numerous areas in Congo. It owns two properties in Limete. It owns one property in, actually two properties in Yolo. They face each other. They one across from each other. So the older one he used to live in, he didn't sell it, so it just bought across the street and built a much better, beautiful house. And the older one now is renting it out. And two more properties in Kinkole, in Plaza area right there. Guess how he was able to purchase those six properties? Brick machine business. It is flourishing as we speak. I'm in agriculture. I'm doing pig farming. That's another area that when it's time to start harvesting, it becomes continual, right? So like my personal perspective on that, like my idea is to set up my own personal butcher shop. So not only that we're selling to the market, but we could also butcher our own meat, sell it to the market at the retail price rather than wholesale price. Excuse me. You understand what I'm saying? These are business ideas that we should always have. Kinshasa is becoming more and more a touristic city. To all of the Congolese expats who come back to Kinshasa to spend time, they go to different spots, different bars, different places in the city to have fun. And every single one of these places, they have like a mini butcher shop where you order your food, they chop it up right then and there, they throw in the grill, they make you food like things that we call poulet mayo. If there's some of you watching that are from Congo, you know what I'm talking about. Like, in Yolo Capella. I went there one time and I'm having a good time with friends. Listen, the way they make them porks out there, if you've never tried, I will highly, highly recommend you going out there and check it out. So like someone like me who own a pig barn, I'm looking at it at a more in a business eye and a business perspective. I'm like, all right, all of these people, this is the business that they do, which means they have some place where they buy these animals from, whether it be chicken, goat, or pigs. Those are the three most consumed meat in Congo, or specifically in Kinshasa, right? So in my head, I'm thinking, when my farm reached that level where I feel like I can start distributing, all I gotta do is just show up there, have a little conversation with them, give them a discount. Hey, if you do business with me, like every week, if you need a pig, just here's the number, give me a call. We'll drive all the way down here and deliver it right here. You don't even have to come all the way down there. We make sure we make that delivery. Can you imagine how many of these people we will have doing business with us just because you're doing things differently? And that's another thing I also wanted to focus, guys. You know, when you entering, you're starting a business, right, on a given field, do things differently from what everybody else is doing to make you stand out. The best way to attract clientele is by doing things better, by offering better options than their older providers. And if you can do that, that's it. That's all you need to do. And of course, I'm on YouTube. I do YouTube videos. I talk about my farm all the time, right? And then some of you have family members back in the Congo. So approaching the end of the year, you know, everybody wants to eat chicken, pork, you know, goat, whatever. I'ma just, you know, put it out there on the screen. Hey, you want some pig? Your boy got your back. Reach out, we'll hook you up. Not only that, I'm getting you guys to, but I'm also serving the local population. Isn't that an amazing thing to do? Guys, the level of, you know, like the amount of opportunities we have, sometimes I don't think we realize that we even have them, because we took it so for granted. We do. But when people come to Africa, they see those opportunities, they don't want to leave. Let me tell you a story. This was trending on social media. And this, by the way, is actually true. You see all these Indians, Lebanese that are doing business in Congo? In case that you didn't know, they do celebrate. They celebrate when they get visa and they get their business document approved to start a business in Congo, because they know they made it. They have their brothers and they have their people there doing business that are supportive of them. They have their back. They give them a loan. They get into a business. They pay them back. They stay in business, and they're winning the market. Look at all the supermarkets being built throughout Kinshasa or throughout the Congo. It's not owned by Congolese, owned by Indians and all these other expats that are doing business there. I don't have anything against them. I wish them well. I wish them the best. But I also want us Congolese or Africans to catch up. This is not only a Congolese problem. These people are doing, this Middle Easterners are doing business all over Africa. And there is nothing wrong with it, right? But how many Africans are doing business in our country and are successful the way they are in Africa? That's why we have to understand that Africa cannot be developed by others. It will never be developed by foreigners. Africa will only be developed by Africans. Period. And don't think for 1 second somebody will come somewhere else and develop Africa for us. Africa's fate is in the hands of Africans. Period. There is no other way around. Look about it more this way. You own a home, you pay your bills in your house, but you expect someone else to come and take your trash out? You expect someone else to come do your laundry? You expect someone else to clean up the spills on your floor? You expect someone else to mop your floor? You expect someone else to vacuum your carpet? Before you made a decision to buy a house, you knew you were able to keep up with the maintenance, right? To do like basic housekeeping works, right? So now after you have bought a house, you see the responsibilities that you are, excuse me, to deal with. Now you want to back away from that. No. You have to step up, face those challenges, and make sure your house is running smoothly. It's just that simple. Africa is the best place. Africa is the basket of humanity. L'Afrique, c'est le berceau de l'humanité. That's the best way to say in French. And I still remember the sentence from when I took a geography class, either in middle school or some shit like that. L'Afrique, c'est le berceau de l'humanité. Que vous le voulez ou pas, ça c'est la réalité. For those of you that don't understand French, basically what I just said, Africa is the basket of humanity. Whether you like it or not, that's the reality. And if you want to ask me what makes you say that, look around. China, Japan, United States of America, Canada, France, Germany, Denmark, Switzerland, everybody is in Africa extracting coltan, cobalt, that by the way have perpetrated genocide in the eastern of Congo for 3 decades now. Uranium, gold, diamond, copper, manganese, and so forth. And it's not only in one country, in almost the entire continent of Africa, maybe except North Africa. You know? Ask yourselves, why are they there? What are they doing there? Goddamn right, because they're there for the opportunities that me and you are running away from. And then when we come here, we get this job that's paying you craps, that's paying scrounge, right? Now you realize, oh snap, I had it easier when I was in Africa. Maybe it is time for me to step my game up, and maybe, just maybe, I could do better. When I encourage people to move to Africa, I don't mean you pack your bags without a plane and just go right now. No, I don't want everybody. I don't want to put you under the impression that's what I'm saying. But I want you to start preparing yourself and working your words towards that goal. And that's exactly what I've been doing. I just don't talk about it. You guys see me. Every trip that I have taken back to Congo have been documented. Has been documented. There are videos on my channel and every single trip that I took back to Congo, except maybe back in 2014. Back then I didn't have a YouTube channel. Back then I wasn't even thinking about getting on YouTube. That was more of a trip where I visited my family. Starting in 2020 up to 2020 up to 2023, I have done nothing but traveling there for business purposes. Yes, of course, my whole family is there. My mom's still there. My siblings are there. My nephew, niece, friends, and all that. I visit them, but at the same time, you guys see me. I went to my farm. I did things that I needed to do. I handled my business, and that's how I did it. And I have no intention to stop. Like no intention to stop whatsoever. I'm gonna continue to do so until I find myself in a financial situation where I could comfortably pack my bags and move back there confidently. You know what I'm saying? So what is it that us Africans have to always run and never look back? But the majority of these expatriates that I'm telling you about, Indians, Lebanese, Pakistanis, and all those other Middle Easterners, they are making big buck in Africa. Now guess where they're building? Back in their country. They're building back in their countries. I don't even have to explain to you to understand. They're building back in their countries. They are creating business opportunities. Even they don't pay crap to our locals that work for them, but they are building in their countries. Why? Because Africa is not their homeland. Africa is a place of business for them. And that's one thing I want you guys to understand. I want all of my brothers and sisters in the diaspora from the continent of Africa, more specifically Congolese. The moment I had come to a realization that I'm only will be better at home, that's when I have intentionally started considering America as a place of business, as a place of work. It's like this giant corporation where I'm just making money here, but I am investing elsewhere. And that's exactly what I have been doing. That's exactly what I have done. And it seems to be working just fine. And I'm glad that it's working. And I'm just not going to limit myself in agriculture or farming. I have hinted that I'm already into real estate. I will share that with you when I make I make huge progress, but it's still in the work in progress. I will also share that on this channel when time is right. But I want you guys to understand also that we are at a much better place. At least we have a home to go to. I don't have to remind you of what's happening in the UK, what the minority are feeling, where minorities' lives are in danger. It could be you next, and wherever you are. It could be me. It could be any of us. That's why having a plan B, having a second plan to invest in your motherland is the best way out. Period. Period. There's no better place than home. I can't even tell you how it feels being back home. Those of you that have not visited since you moved down, your first trip, you would agree with me. You'll be like, man, this is all I've been missing all along. The peace of mind, you know? I wish I could do this live stream non-stop for hours and hours, but I understand you guys have places to be, you got better things to do, but I do appreciate you giving me almost 1 hour and 40 minutes of your time. This really, really means a lot, and I take it seriously. I do appreciate you guys for coming in, and make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this. I will try to do some pre-recording content for you guys, but until then, let's do this. Live streams seems to be working. It seems to be giving me more things to talk about, and having discussions about this topic is very, very important to me. And I guess we can all learn from one another when we have this sort of conversations. And also, give us your opinion in the comment section. We could all debate it, all right? Maturely as adults without insulting each other or anything like that. Sometimes we may not agree with one another on certain subjects, but it is at least important to have these conversations, all right? Thank you guys again, and happy Sunday. I hope I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, on my way to work, I'll go live. So we got more things to talk about. Until then, I'll see you. Peace out.